Hey, Dane.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Good. I'm hanging out here in Brooklyn, and I heard you were setting up for a shoot, and I wanted to ask you 21 questions. Do you have some time?
I do have some time.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Awesome. All right, so I'll get right to it. Tell us, what type of photographer are you?
That's a great question. I feel like every day I'm trying to figure that out. But I am a portrait and commercial photographer.
Cool. And as a portrait photographer who always deals with people, how have you been adapting to this pandemic?
Well, it's been weird, to say the least, but just making sure we get tested before every shoot, wearing protective gear, sanitizing everything, and when need be, keeping the social distance.
Sure. And I know you've been busy over the pandemic as well.
Yes, very busy. I had a baby.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, it's pandemic baby, but right in February, right before everything shut down, I had a baby. So I've been learning a lot as a new dad, a new parent, but yeah, it's been a very busy time.
That's awesome. And what got you started in photography?
My interest in photography goes way back before I even had a camera. I used to read a lot, and my mom used to bring home all these Nat Geographic magazines, and I would read them, but I got fascinated by how great everyone could tell stories just in a photo. And I always set out as a random goal of mine that one day I'll do the same.
Wow, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And what was your first camera?
Oh, my first working camera, I would say. And that's outside of cell phones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. First DSLR was a Nikon D60.
And what's your go-to camera and lens now?
Go-to camera and lens, I have the A7R III and the new 35-1.4 G Master.
Ooh, and so I know that you're a Sony Alpha Collective, right?
Yes, I am.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. From where I started with photography as a hobby and to be highlighted and recognized by one of the larger, if not the largest, camera makers in the world, it means a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I'm representing a brand, but also too, it's inspiring. It's not only for me, but for other people that's coming into the field. It's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. And so what drew you to portraits and people specifically?
Well, I started off as a street photographer, which is way less intimate. And some background about myself, I studied architecture.
Wow.
And so I would love to see how people interacted with those empty spaces, because I would show up way before anyone even came and just watched as the spaces filled with people. And I got more and more curious to kind of learn the stories of those people that would be in the spaces. So I started going out with friends and taking their portraits, and trying to learn more about them through that. And yeah.
That's awesome. And I know you continue to shoot a lot of film, right?
Yes, film has now found its way into my daily shooting routine.
That's awesome. What are you shooting with?
Right now I'm shooting with the Mamiya RZ67.
Can we see it?
Yes, you can.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a challenge to lug around when I go into some sporadic walks, but it's a beautiful camera. One of the best cameras ever built.
That's great. And I love the way you incorporate ambient light and sunlight in many of your images. How did you learn to master your own style?
Lots and lot of practice. I would say lots and lot of practice, but just paying attention to how light interacts with spaces, but also people, how that light affects how someone looks and brings out different emotions, and just being patient, because even today, I was actually just on the phone with one of my friends, and I'm telling him every single time I set up lights, I feel like I'm a rookie because I'm always learning. So it's just being patient and practicing.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
And you do a lot of studio stuff, right?
Yes, I do.
And so can you tell me about the couple of series you've done?
Yeah, oh, a few. But the most recent one I just completed was Connecting While Disconnected. It was set up as a portrait/interview series where I contacted a bunch of friends and family and community members that was really close to me to just kind of catch up with them, interview them through the pandemic to see how they were doing, and capture like their stories and intimate portraits of them as like a timestamp. Yeah.
And your work is so diverse from the people and style. Why do you think it's important that we capture all the different faces in the world?
Well, for me, it's super easy to be inclusive because I live in New York City and it's one of the most diverse places in the world. But I do think it's important to have representation. You know, growing up and you've probably seen these stories all the time. Now that we have the internet, that people talk about never seeing someone that looked like them on television or like in photos, and what that really means to be included into these conversations. So I think it's very important.
And so do you have any projects coming up?
Yes, well, I just spoke about the Connecting While Disconnected series. I am actually working on a zine for that, looking for funding. But yeah, I have a few projects. I'm going to continue working on like a lot of like the personal ones that I've been developing. You know, I have a series called Segmented Portraits, which is the next one I'm going to like bring to the forefront this year. But yeah, I have a few projects coming up.
That's great. And switching it up a little bit, what are some tips for somebody looking to create a unique portrait series in the way you do?
Wow. Really pay attention to the story that you're trying to tell. Because I think a lot of times like we rush into projects just because we want to create something and we don't know how to conclude it because we don't really know the story we're really trying to convey. So I think like sitting down and like really paying attention to what that story and why you want to tell the story would really help you really fill in all the blanks for that project.
And coolest shoot you've ever been on?
Oh, well, as I mentioned, I had a baby in the middle of the pandemic or at the start. And so he just turned 1 recently. And with his new legs under him, it was very, it was a great photo shoot. I didn't know it was gonna be that challenging, but like we built the entire set and did a nice little photo series for him.
That's awesome. And most challenging shoot.
Oh, that one as well. That one as well takes the cake.
That's hilarious. Most impactful shoot you've been on?
Most impactful shoot, as I mentioned a few times, like my project, the Connecting While Disconnected series, that one by far has been the most impactful shoot I've done. It was tear-jerking. It was beautiful. It was draining, empowering. Yeah, my entire crew we all left better people interviewing the series of people we did. We interviewed about 20 people within a weekend and sit here and hear all their stories and take their portraits, and also just to reconnect with all these people.
Sure.
After a year. You know, it was a yeah, I don't even know if I could even compare that to any other shoot that I've done.
That's awesome. And if you could only shoot one type of portrait forever,
Wow.
music, street, or studio?
That one is tough. And I think my answer is probably going to change every single day if I ask that question again. Maybe studio. I think when I'm in the studio and I get to curate some really creative lighting and like play with like backdrops and like work into a space that's more controlled, I think I sometimes enjoy it more.
Sure. And if you weren't a photographer, what would you be?
Well, I did mention that I also majored in architecture in college, so I think that's an easy choice. But If I wasn't a photographer, this is a dream job.
Yes.
Dream job. Anything creative, honestly. I think anything in the creative field sparks my interest or makes me happy. It fills my soul. Yeah, once I'm creating, I'm happy.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Meditate.
That's a good one. And aside from your camera, what's your favorite piece of gear?
Favorite piece of gear beside my camera? Maybe my new B10s, Pro Photo.
Okay, yeah. And if there were to be a movie about your life, who would play you?
Donald Glover.
Oh, nice. You have the same style.
Thank you.
And last question, who should we interview next?
Jay and Silva.
Okay, awesome. So we'll call him right up. We'll let you get back to it and wait for your model. And thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping by.
See ya.